to let you know that the Pacific Northwest Council for Languages was founded in 1949, and we are the oldest of the 5 regional organizations. And we serve and support 6 states: Alaska, Idaho, Montana, Oregon, Washington, and Wyoming. And in 2024, we will be celebrating our 75th anniversary, hopefully at a location face to face. So we're already starting to think about that. That's not far away. Our goals for this conference: we want to connect and support the educators in our region. We are stronger together. We want to recognize and reward excellence tonight in teaching and leadership. We want to give you some high quality professional development opportunities and some resources to advocate for language learning. We want to increase our membership, which is our main goal, and we want to have some fun. So first of all, I'd like to thank the conference committee. We've been working hard for the past few months to put this program together. And without these people, this would not have been possible. I do want to point out every single person here is a volunteer, from the organizers down to the presenters. Everybody has volunteered their time. Nobody, the keynoters, nobody's being paid. We're all volunteers and trying to help us get this first conference off the ground. And so we appreciate it. Also to our generous sponsors, Vista Higher Learning, Carnegie Learning, the Creative Language class, Avant Assessment, Wayside Publishing, and Ondego Internships Abroad. Also fabulous sponsors and also presenting great sessions. So thank you to our sponsors. This school year, really quickly, wow, I'm calling it the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, so it wasn't all bad. There was some good in it. Okay, there's one thing is we survived a global pandemic. We lived through history together with our students, and it's changed all of our lives together. And we learned a whole lot of new words. Okay, I didn't use the word synchronous and asynchronous a year ago. Okay, so and some words change meaning, like hybrid is now not a good word to me. So yeah, we learned a lot of vocabulary. The good of 2021 school year, we got a lot of new tools that we can keep using. I'm going to keep using Zoom for office hours when I get back. I'm going to keep using my learning management system, Canvas, for feedback for kids. It's way better. I'm going to keep videotaping myself, giving my directions so I'd have to repeat them 32 times to kids. The other good thing, it forced us to look at what's essential, okay, to cut the unnecessary. It made us look at the importance of our relationships in our lives. And one of the best things about 2021, it gave us this first virtual conference. We would have never had the idea to have a virtual conference if it hadn't been for the pandemic. And now, who knows, hopefully we will continue on. So, whoops. And the best thing of 2020, I'm sorry, is I got my first grandchild. Okay, we have a lot of babies born this year, and they didn't think it was a bad year. They think it's a good year. And I have another one on the way. So yes, you heard it here first. There was some bad, I have to say, the isolation, the boredom, the loss of loved ones, the mental health issues. I have students right now, if we went back to school, I would not recognize them in the hallway. I've never seen their faces. They don't have to turn on the cameras. And I've been out of school for a year now. March 12th will be 1 year since I've been in my classroom in front of my kids. And last March 12th, when I went home, I thought for 2 weeks, I thought my house was going to be so clean. And you know what? A year later, it's not. It's still terrible. And so the good, the bad, and the ugly, let's face it, there was some terrible haircuts and some terrible fashions. I've forgotten how to dress, but like I say, the good is this conference came out of it. And here's our conference highlights. So I want to point out some things for you today. At 5 o'clock, we have an awesome keynote speaker. Carla Swick, our 2020 PNCFL Regional Toy, is going to talk to us about being stronger together. What kind of people do we want to be? I'm looking forward to it. After Carla's keynote, we have a round of sessions. Our first round of sessions, we have one live presenter from each of our 6 states. And so that will be exciting. Right now, available to you in our program are over a dozen recorded sessions that you can watch tonight, anytime at your leisure on pages 27 and 28. Make sure to check out our pre-recorded sessions available to you now. Tonight at 7 o'clock is the general membership meeting. You'll meet the board members. We'll have a couple of reports from the president and the treasurer, some highlights from the states, followed by games and raffles and a chance to earn some prizes. Tomorrow morning, we have 3 fabulous keynote speakers. Actually, tomorrow morning, we start with another round of sessions at 9 o'clock. Many good sessions to choose from at 9 o'clock. Everything is Pacific time because we span 3 time zones. So we're Pacific time. And we have 3 ACFL past presidents talking to us tomorrow informally for coffee and conversation. Another awesome thing to look forward to. We have language luncheons for you tomorrow. So grab your lunch and click on in and share ideas, an idea swap, informal language luncheon, and followed by a short little Zumba session hosted by Oregon for 15 minutes to kind of get us energized and going again. And that's tomorrow after the language luncheons. Tomorrow night, join Brandon and Amanda Seawald for our sunset chat around advocacy and just kind of reflection on the conference. And another raffle. We have some ebooks to raffle off. Each state gave us a prize to raffle off. We have some other goodies to raffle off. So join us. And if you're interested, you can earn 1 conference credit through the University of Alaska. And if you're interested in that, you need to email Brandon Locke soon for attendance. It's $104 for 1 university level credit. There's also information in the program if you would like a university credit for this conference.
And can I just add to that, please?
Please do, Brandon.
The email does not sign you up for the actual course itself, but the University of Alaska still has a paper and pencil sign-in sheet. So basically, it just tells me that you're interested, and I'll make sure that you get the registration information, and then it's up to you to register. You do not have to be a resident of Alaska for this. It is 1 graded graduate level credit, and it's for $104. We also have information in the program for those of you that don't necessarily need college credit, but or graduate credit, I should say, but are looking for clock hours with your state. So that's in the program.
Thank you. All right, also clock hours. If you're interested in clock hours, check out the program. They're not through PNCFL because every state has different requirements, but there are options for clock hours for your state also in the program. Check that out. All right, recordings. Again, as I said, everybody's a volunteer here, everybody. But we would love presenters to please record yourself, and we would love to make the recordings available after the conference is our plan. So presenters, if you would please record yourself so more people can see your awesome presentation. We have 7 live presentations going at every single session. So it's hard to choose. So if you could record, we can make them available after, we would appreciate it. And participants, if you're in a session and you see the presenter is not recording, if you would kindly gently remind them to record, we would appreciate that, because sometimes you get going and you forget. So that would be awesome. Please connect with us on social media, Facebook, Pacific Northwest Council for Languages, Instagram, YouTube. Catherine, we're trying to get so many YouTube subscriptions, right?
If we get 50 subscribers, we get our own URL. So please like us, follow us, share with us.
Yes, and or Twitter, and yeah, tweet out. Let them know. There could be a prize for some great tweets out there about the PNCFL conference. We have lots of incentives, so tweet away and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please, so we get our own URL. All right, Flipgrid, aha! We also have a little Flipgrid contest, flipgrid.com/PNCFL, and you're going to go there and you're going to record yourself. You'll see some of us already, and you can comment on other people's Flipgrids, and the person that makes the most comments wins a $10 gift certificate to Amazon.com. So you get 1 point for yourself, recording yourself, and 1 point for everybody you connect with and make a comment with. And we'll announce that on Saturday. And maybe we could drop that in the chat, flipgrid.com/PNCFL, and you can see the ones that are already. And all you got to do is comment and say, "Hey, Lisa, great job on this conference. This is awesome," and that gets you a point in the contest. All right, dun, 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 dun. It's time for the awards ceremony. We've all been waiting for. Those are the announcements. Are there any questions about the announcements? Okay, here we go. Here we go. 2021 PNCFL State Teachers of the Year. We have some six fabulous teachers to show you. And it's a lot of work, I tell you. All right, first of all, I got to thank the selection committee. They have to put together a portfolio with student samples and letters of recommendations and essays and all kinds of stuff to read. So all right, we have this committee that read through the portfolios, and then we went through an interview process where we interviewed each one. And I'd like to thank the committee. And we have 4 former regional PNCFL toys on our committee, and 1 Boy Scout. Just kidding. All right, there we go. Here we go. First one. Yay! Alaska. Alaska's toy. Kristin Dahl teaches Spanish at South Anchorage High School in Alaska. Her passion is finding what others are doing and sharing. She says it's a job that never gets dull. Her advice to new teachers is connect with kids with your heart. Fill the kids' bank of love. Also, build in time for kids to connect with each other. Enjoy the class, connect with colleagues. Congratulations, Kristin. All right, next we have Becca Sibrian from Idaho. Becca teaches German and world culture at Boise State University in Idaho. She is passionate about collaboration and open educational resources. Her advice to new teachers is find your passion and compassion. She says, find some colleagues you can collaborate with. Well, you are in the right place for that this weekend. Congratulations, Becca. All right, from Montana, we have Teresa Mountains. Teresa Mountains teaches Spanish at Billings Senior High School in Montana. She is passionate about the Social Justice Teacher Leadership Initiative and teaching about biases. Her advice to teachers new to the profession is, don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Congratulations, Teresa. All right, from Oregon. From Oregon, we have Natalie Stamper. Natalie teaches French at Lewis and Clark College in Oregon. Her passions are creating connections in the classroom and creating connections across disciplines. Her advice to new teachers is create balance. Reach out, ask questions. You don't have to recreate the wheel. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of the process. Congratulations, Natalie. Wyoming, Jamie Basham. Jamie teaches Spanish at Landon Valley High School in Wyoming. She is the voice of rural America. Her advice to new teachers is, don't take it personally. Don't take it too seriously. Teenagers are going to have bad days and take it out on you because you are their safe space. And I love this one. You don't need to teach those grammar lessons. Yay! Jamie, congratulations, Jamie. From Washington State, we have Eduardo Viana da Silva. Eduardo is the Associate Teaching Professor of Portuguese and the Portuguese Program Coordinator at the University of Washington in Washington State. His passions are cooking, eating, and traveling. His advice is to focus on your students' needs and adapt your classes accordingly. Congratulations, Eduardo. And the 2021 PNCFL Teacher of the Year is, hold on for a second. Candidates, if you'd like to turn on your cameras, please, you may turn on your cameras so we can see your faces if you'd like to. And I invite you to turn on your cameras. And the 2021
Lynn?
Yes.
I just got a message from Teresa that she hasn't joined us yet. Can we get her in on the?
Sure.
I'm hoping that she gets that right away.
Oops,
Sorry.
sorry. You want me to?
Catherine, could you help that out?
She's not in the waiting room. So I can send her an email. Lynn, and if you want to stop the share for a second and we can see Carla as she pops up here. We could take a, what's that moment it just draws out the suspense, right?
I know, okay.
Are you ready? Should I announce?
Wait, what?
Let's just wait for a second.
Sure, you bet.
Lisa, can you send her the join link?
I sent her the link for the program,
Taking a couple.
and
screenshots.
now
Maybe we should take an hour break, you know, like you do with your children right before Christmas.
Okay, I'm sending her the direct link right now.
Well, congratulations to all of the toys. It's an honor, and we're proud of you. And yeah, it's a lot of work too.
I just clicked her.
Maybe
in.
if someone is in Montana and can text Teresa that she has her information, that would be great.
She just entered the waiting room, and I just admitted.
Hey. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Should I go back and
Maybe we
reintroduce
should let her know what we're doing.
Okay. Welcome, Teresa. Well, we just introduced everybody.
She's
And-
connecting. She's connecting to audio.
Okay. So, Carla, are you ready?
Hang on. She's not connected yet.
I do hear that Zoom.
It's
is gonna
Montana.
glitch ya. Yeah.
Is the internet slow there in Montana?
Can be.
Oh, my dog.
Teresa, are you there? She's muted, but looks like she's in.
Yes, I've been trying to get in for the last several minutes, so.
Yay! Welcome.
Thank you. It's exciting to be here.
Congratulations on being the Montana Teacher of the Year.
Thank you.
Yes. Announce that you are from Billings High School and your passions are social justice and teaching for biases. And your advice to new teachers is don't be afraid to make mistakes and don't be afraid to reach out. So thank you for being here. And now Carla is going to our regional current.
Lynn, Teresa, do you know that we're just about to announce the PNCFL Teacher of the Year? Yes?
Yes. Yeah,
That's
I've
just
been
as you're
looking at the
entering.
whole,
Okay, all right.
I was looking at the whole dialogue of everything. I just could not get the link to work. It wasn't hyperlinked. So Cammie and then Lisa just sent me the other one, and that one was hyperlinked. I don't know why it wasn't hyperlinked. It was the blue little line for whatever reason. I don't know. But yeah. Thanks, Lisa.
Take it away, Carla.
All right. I would like everybody on your table or wherever you are, can you please do a drum roll? And thank you, Lynn, for the envelope and PNCFL, the 2021 Teacher of the Year is from the state of Wyoming, Jamie Basham. She is a Spanish teacher from Lander Valley High School. And that was also my university alma mater, Wyoming. So congratulations to all of you. And Jamie, welcome.
Woo! Go, Jamie.
Congratulations, Jamie, on behalf of PNCFL. We're proud of you. Will be representing us in ACTFL this fall. And Jamie, would you like to say a couple of words?
Lisa, do you want to tell what just happened before I don't think she can talk for a second.
There was a lot going on, including my sister. My sister flew in from St. Louis, Missouri, which, as you know, in relation to Wyoming is very far away. And so, thank you so much. I am I'm speechless, and I'm incredibly honored to be able to represent our region and the American Rural Language Teacher. So thank you for this opportunity. I am beyond blessed and beyond words. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you. Thanks, Brandy.
So my understanding is Jamie did not know that her sister was flying in, and her husband surprised her with the flowers and everything. So congratulations.
Thank
Double
you.
surprise.
It was such a huge surprise. No idea whatsoever. Yeah.
Well, you got some work ahead of you, let me tell you, but it's worth it. It's fun. Okay, so Brandon, would you like to announce the rest of the our awards? And I will get the screen back over here and we'll go on. Okay, here we go.
All right, so thank you, Lynn. Congratulations, Jamie. We're all very, very proud of you. And similarly, we are very, very proud of all 6 of our finalists. You guys are all amazing, and it was a tough decision. With that, we also have 3 additional awards that are not the Teacher of the Year awards. We have an Outstanding Contributions to the Teaching of World Languages in the Pacific Northwest. We have the Ray Versiconi Award, the Northwest Post-Secondary Language Educator of the Year. And we have the PNCFL Friends of Languages Award, which is a new award for this year and moving forward. Next slide, please.
Oops. I'm on it. Oops.
All right, so don't click. Yeah, good.
Nope.
Right there. All right, so the Outstanding Contributions to the Teaching of World Languages in the Pacific Northwest is an award that recognizes an individual who has made an outstanding contribution to the teaching and learning of world languages in the Pacific Northwest over an extended period of time. Nominees should be service-oriented leaders in the field working to support world language education in their state and region. And I am so incredibly excited to announce the winner of this award for this year. And I'm glad to see that that individual is online with us. Although I don't know that she still qualifies because it says Pacific Northwest and our recipient is currently in Florida. If we could turn the slide, please. I am super, super proud of my friend and colleague, Dr. Michelle Ancio Aoki, currently retired from both Seattle Public Schools as well as the Washington Office of Public Instruction. And she's in Florida right now with her new grandchild. But I did invite her husband, Paul, to join us. He is on the call as well. And if I could just take a moment to not only congratulate Michelle, but just if I could read a few things that her nominators and supporters wrote about her. So says, the first one says, I have known and collaborated closely with Michelle for over a dozen years, and I know how very well her work embodies the qualities and accomplishments of this auspicious award, one colleague wrote. He continues, as you consider the bestowment of this award, I would encourage you to look no further than this extremely deserving professional who represents the very best aspects of language and culture learning in the Pacific Northwest. You'll probably figure this out, Michelle, but I first met Michelle when she assumed the role of the World Language Specialist at the Washington Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction. It was as if the position was made for her, or perhaps she was made for it. She's one of 2 official representatives of NACESFL, the National Council of State Supervisors of Languages, who worked tirelessly with the other representative, one of your nominators, on multiple occasions to observe. He wrote that he observed Michelle in action, sharing her state's own seal of biliteracy implementation experiences, critically analyzing proposed points of guidance and proposing keen eyes for editing, and always collaborating with others. Second colleague wrote that this individual had worked with Michelle for over 18 years in a variety of levels, including with the Delaware Department of Education, the Asia Society, the National Foreign Language Center at the University of Maryland, and StarTalk. And that individual has written 3 bullet points. Michelle has infused international education and global competency in the study of languages and cultures. She has tirelessly promoted and enhanced world and heritage language education locally, regionally, and nationally. And as we know in the Pacific Northwest, that is huge. And Michelle has provided service-oriented leadership and vision and is actively engaged in language education advocacy. And finally, the third person that submitted a letter of support said that Michelle has been a long advocate of world languages. She worked early on the Waffles advocacy team, and at the end was instrumental in getting the state of Washington to create a world language supervisor position in 2008. In 2011, she arranged a meeting with the state superintendent of public instruction to enlist his support and sign a letter of support for the excellence in and innovation in Language Learning Act, HR 1994. She invited ACTFL president at the time, Dr. Barbara Monlock, as well as WAFL president at the time, now ACTFL past president Bridget Yaden. Michelle was instrumental in getting the superintendent's support for a seal of biliteracy in conjunction with the regional education advisor, Consulate General of Spain. She has then gone on to collaborate with the National Seal of Biliteracy Partners, partnership organizations, and support the movement, including collaborating with newly revised implementation guidelines. I could go on and on and on. I've worked with Michelle for about 8 years in both NACESFL and NADSFL, as well as StarTalk. And being from Anchorage and her being from Seattle, we're often the only 2 people in meetings on the East Coast from our area, and we support one another. And I will tell you, Michelle, as a kind-hearted individual, is a strong supporter and constant fighter for world languages in the Pacific Northwest. So congratulations, Michelle. Michelle, would you like to unmute and say something?
Well, I'm kind of speechless to have this recognition, especially at this moment of relaunching the PNCFL conference. I just am so thrilled that you guys, all you leaders who have done this, and I've known many of you for so many years, and I had many occasions because of working at the state level and district level to ask you to do workshops or to do things to bring you forward, because you had the hands-on expertise that my teachers needed that I could not personally bring to the table. Having been a teacher of Russian, I spent most of the last 20 years working on, Spanish, Chinese, French, and German, and et cetera, et cetera. So, but it's been amazing to work with you all. This honor means a lot. I'll tell you, part of the reason that I went on the path that I supervised is because Waffle gave me this award, this leadership award around 2004 or 6 or something to deserve this. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Michelle. Congratulations. Our next award is the Ray Versiconi Northwest Post-Secondary Language Educator of the Year. This award honors Dr. Ray Versiconi, who was a longtime executive director of PNCFL and retired in 1999. This award recognizes outstanding teaching, service, and/or research at the university level. Nominees must be affiliated with a college or university within one of PNCFL's 6 member states. I'm sorry, somebody is texting me and it's sort of important, like right now, and it's about this.
Michelle, could you say something? How do we say congratulations in Russian?
Поздравляем.
Я вас тоже поздравляю с победой.
Спасибо. Это большая часть, действительно.
Очень приятно.
Очень приятно. Деноза, да?
Да, Дильноза меня зовут.
Да. Откуда вы?
Я родилась в России, но я из Узбекистана, живу в Вайоминге, жила в Германии.
А, да, вы жили где? Все где? А где вы сейчас?
Я сейчас нахожусь в Лэреме, университет Вайоминг, в Вайоминге.
Отлично, отлично.
So then we need the translations.
I think the part of University of Wyoming was clear. The University of Wyoming, yep. Yeah, we were just talking where I'm from and where I live. I said that I'm from Uzbekistan, but I was born in Russia. I speak Russian fluently. It's my second language. And I live in Wyoming. I graduated last year with my PhD. And I do lots of work in the world of world languages and cultures.
And you'll be
Wonderful.
presenting tonight, right after this, the keynote session. You have a session.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brandon, are we all good?
Catherine, keep doing what you're doing for half a second.
Half a second. Okay, who can take that and put it into another language that is a less commonly taught language? So not Spanish or French or German, something that's just a beautifully unknown language that's one of us might
Where's
speak.
Zoe? I Heidi was there.
Maybe we need to hear it in Uzbeki too.
Well,
right?
that would be very cool.
Oh my gosh, who said that?
So that you could introduce yourself, teach us how to introduce ourselves, please.
Okay, so since Uzbek language is less commonly taught and located in Central Asia, we used to say Assalamu alaikum or salam. Assalamu alaikum. It's Arabic word for greeting you all. And if you know how to say Assalamu alaikum, you're welcome to any Muslim country and they will treat you as a best guest. So in Uzbekistan, we say Assalamu alaikum or salam from the word shalom in Hebrew.
Thank you for that quick lesson. That's wonderful things. We always want to share our multiple languages and honor those languages that we don't always get to hear about at our language conferences. Welcome in.
Thank you so much. And if you really want to learn and join us, Wyoming is the first state in the United States who's offering Uzbek for free for several years, and people all over the world are taking Uzbek language from us.
Sign me up. Sign me up. Okay, Brandon, how you doing?
I think we're just gonna keep on plugging away here. So, all righty. The winner of this Ray Versiconi Northwest Post-Secondary Language Educator of the Year is, next slide, Dr. Hiroko Harada, who is Professor of Japanese and Director of the Montgomery-Dixon Center for Japanese Language and Culture at the University of Alaska, Anchorage. Congratulations, Hiroko, Dr. Harada. Got a few things to say about Dr. Harada. One colleague wrote, I have known Dr. Harada and collaborated with her on a variety of projects for over 20 years. She's an excellent colleague and has worked incredibly hard to develop interesting and engaging opportunities for students at the University of Alaska, Anchorage. My deepest involvement with her took place between 2013 and 2015 as we developed a new course and led a group of students to visit Japan during the summer of 2015 as part of a 3-credit field studies course in geography. The course was entitled Tsunami Preparation Lessons from Japan. Students in this course had previously studied natural hazards and/or the Japanese language. They then gained experiential knowledge on tsunami hazards and preparation for the hazards by visiting Rikuzen Takata and Iwate Province in Japan, an area that was profoundly impacted by the Great East Japan earthquake and tsunami in 2011. Another person writes, also in response to the 2011 tsunami, during this tragic event, a recent graduate of Dr. Harada's with a BA in Japanese, Montgomery-Dixon, was killed while teaching English in Rikuzen Takata, Iwate Province. Professor Harada was the motivating force behind the creation of the Montgomery-Dixon Center for Language and Culture, the MDCJLC at the University of Alaska in his honor. And since 2012, that the center has flourished, contributing significantly to the understanding of Japanese culture and the Anchorage community, within the Anchorage community, and has furthered the education of Japanese language to many students. Specifically in 2020, despite the constraints of significant state budget shortfalls at UAA and the global coronavirus, Professor Harada has ensured the success of the UAA Japanese language program and the Montgomery-Dixon Center. In July 2020, Professor Harada published a booklet for youth entitled Anchorage, an I Can City. What future can we choose? Which discusses abolishing nuclear weapons as part of the international campaign to abolish nuclear weapons, the ICAN. And on a personal note, I've known and worked with Dr. Harada for about 25 years and had the privilege and honor of going to Japan with her and visiting Rikuzen Takata, and also serve on her Montgomery-Dixon board. And just next week, we'll be celebrating a 10-year anniversary of that amazing Japanese center. So hopefully Dr. Harada is on the line with us and would like to say a few words. Hiroko?
I'm here, Brandon.
Hiroko, congratulations.
Hi, thank you
very
so
proud of you.
much for the award. And oh my goodness, I just finished my class and then I was just on time when you started to talk and started talking about me. I was able to get in here. So I'm so sorry I was a little bit late, but I'm so thrilled to receive this award. And thank you, PNCFL Award Review Committee for selecting me for the 2021 PNCFL Outstanding Contributions to the Teaching of a World Language, of World Language in the Pacific Northwest Award. I'm truly honored to have received this award, and I'm also happy that this can bring a tremendous recognition to Alaska. And so Alaska is called the frontier, and this land has cultivated me for the frontier and the pioneer spirit. And so I'm so thankful for this award. And I would like to thank Mr. Brandon Locke, director of the Anchorage School the School District World Languages and Emergent Program, and the PNCFL past president for nominating for this award, nominating me for this award. I'm so sorry, I'm so out of breath because I just received a notice from my daughter that she is just going to the hospital for our first baby.
Oh.
I mean, our first baby.
Yay!
So
congratulations.
I'm kind of hyperactive now. So, but anyway, so I'm also thank you those who took time to write letters of support, and I just thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, including my family and my students, and then UAA, and then this environment and Anchorage, and then AATJ and the AKATJ, and the center, and the Japan Foundation, and Tomodachi Foundation, and everybody, Atwood Foundation, and Alaska Humanity Forum, you know, and Iwate University, and the Chitose, and the Hokkaido University of Education. They all helped me to make all these things happen. So thank you very much. And thank you, Brandon.
And now just take a deep breath and have a glass of water and sit down. You're making me nervous.
Yes. Thank you.
Congratulations, Hiroko. I'm very proud of you, as is all of Alaska and PNCFL. So congratulations.
Thank you very much, Brandon.
All right, and last but not least, we have our Friends of Languages Award. It's a new award. We sort of separated out the outstanding contributions and put it in line with some of the other awards that the states were doing. So the PNCFL Friends of Languages Award is new this year. It recognizes an individual or an organization not necessarily directly involved, but absolutely may be involved with the teaching of world languages, and who or that has significantly supported, championed, or advocated for world language education in the Pacific Northwest. And we do realize that sometimes Montana and Wyoming and Idaho don't necessarily feel like they're part of the Pacific Northwest, but you know what? Neither does Alaska. We're often lumped with Canada anyway. Nominees for this award are not required to be members of PNCFL, however, the nominator must be. And in this particular case, our award recipient is, yeah, well, there we go. All right, you beat me to it. All right, so Dilnoza.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, wow, when you were speaking, we should have just moved the slides around. But you know what, Dilnoza, congratulations.
Oh,
congratulations.
That was a big surprise. I didn't expect that.
So let me read about you real quick, and then we'll let you say a few words.
Thank you.
So Dr. Dilnoza Kasilova, did I say that correct?
Yep, absolutely.
All right. The Wyoming Foreign Language Teachers Association is proud to nominate Dilnoza Kasilova for PNCFL's Friends of Languages Award for 2021. Dilnoza received the WFLTA Friend of Languages Award in October of 2020 after being nominated by a number of colleagues. As a graduate of the University of Wyoming in 2014, Dilnoza created an opportunity to combine her love of teaching and passion for languages with a desire to give back to her community through service. She founded the World Languages and Cultures Program, WLCP, at the University of Wyoming. This program offers language classes to students, faculty, and community members in Laramie, Wyoming. In only a few short years, the WLCP has grown to offer classes in 15 different languages, including classes in Uzbek and Russian that Dilnoza teaches. Through this program, native speakers volunteer to share their language and culture with those who want to learn. The program has the program is completely free for those who want to learn languages and explore world cultures, and more than 500 individuals have participated thus far. Dilnoza continues to serve as the program and curriculum coordinator. She's also used data from the WLCP to help research for her dissertation on adult learning in an informal setting. The WLCP has allowed the world to open up to the Laramie community over the last several years. As home to the only four-year university in Wyoming, Laramie is home to many professors, visiting faculty, and students from around the world. Dilnoza's program provides an opportunity for these people who are new to Laramie to share their home languages and cultures and build a strong sense of community while creating a culture of respect, appreciation, and diversity. And that was apparent just a few minutes ago when she just sort of took the reins and provided us some teaching right then and there. Congratulations, Dilnoza. We are very, very proud of you. And would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you so much. That was, honestly, I was shocked because I knew that they nominated me, but I didn't expect, because I thought, oh, they probably already selected somebody. That was a big surprise, but I really appreciate everyone, and especially Catherine, who nominated me for this award. And I know that she appreciated my work, even in world language, in Wyoming itself. And I know that the whole University of Wyoming have been supporting me for 10 years. I'm so lucky to be in the state. Yes, we're a less, populated state, but we're doing so great. I'm so proud. I want this baby, to grow and be one of the example in the world. So I hope that we can grow and then, spread the word about free services and how we can connect, languages and cultures to love, building peace, understanding each other. Because, just speaking in that language doesn't help us to build the peace, but I think just understanding the culture, humanity, and just working together, that's the big deal. And I think I'm so lucky to be in the state again, because I gained so much, the same as I want to give back so much. And I'm thankful to my professors who wrote those all recommendation letters, my mentors from the University of Wyoming, community members who are still supporting me. And yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations again. And Hiroko, Dilnoza, and Michelle, I'll be sending you the packet of letters that were submitted on your behalf so that you can have those. They were very, very touching. Congratulations.
Okay, and before our keynote, Carla, we have a word from a couple of our sponsors. Very quickly. Here we go. I'm going to turn off my camera real quick. Oh, sorry.
What I appreciate the most about the Wayside materials that we're using is they put culture first. So culture is the center of every unit, and the grammar and vocabulary is embedded into that.
Now this just makes so much more good sense that you don't have to memorize every single irregular preterite conjugation to be able to communicate in Spanish, and the students are feeling that success.
It really had everything that we needed. It had the authentic resources with the activities to go through it, and the questions and rubrics to go with the IPAs that were already set up, and it really was what we were looking for.
As far as I can tell, it's the only textbook on the market that is proficiency driven.
If you want to teach proficiency, definitely, and you need a textbook because it's what your district is telling you to use, and you want everybody to teach the same, this is the way to go.
Okay, and one more.
Carnegie Learning is a leading provider of K-12 world language education technology, curriculum, and professional learning solutions. With the high-quality offerings for Spanish, French, German, Chinese, and Italian, Carnegie Learning delivers you comprehensive and flexible programs that meet all of your needs and meet your students where they are. Help your students fall in love with languages through personalized solutions, helping students become confident communicators while making connections with cultures other than their own. Build the confidence in all students to listen and speak the language through self-checking activities and self-guided resources in our online learning environment. Blended solutions incorporate the latest technology and allow students speaking and reflection opportunities. Develop their intercultural competence through vast content libraries of relevant target language materials. Flexible and accessible resources meet the ever-changing needs of teachers, offering you variety and choice in addition to easy and consistent ways to differentiate. With solutions ranging from supplemental and core for K to 12th grade, we look forward to a partnership with you to meet all of your needs. Visit our website today at carnegielearning.com to learn more and to request additional information. We want to help you help your students fall in love with language.
Okay. All right, and that brings us to our keynote speaker. Brandon, did you want to introduce Carla? And I'm going to stop my share.
I would be honored to introduce Carla. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and honor to introduce Carla Swick. She is a Japanese teacher in Palmer, Alaska. Palmer is in the Matsu School District, which is just north of Anchorage. And yes, we are a very, very diverse region, the Pacific Northwest. Alaska is massive, and Anchorage is a huge school district with about 50 to 60% of the student population. And Carla is in one of the other top 5, which can't really compare in numbers. But I tell you this because Carla teaches Japanese in Palmer, Alaska, which is also at Palmer High School, which is also her alma mater. And Carla is a perfect example of somebody who was introduced to a world language or culture as a Japanese student or a student of Japanese. The city of Palmer has a sister city with, is it Saroma? Always makes me think of Italy. But Saroma, she went and studied abroad there. She then went to the University of Wyoming, I'm sorry. And then she returned to Palmer, where she has continued to teach Japanese. I've known Carla for many, many, many years. And I will tell you that she is an absolute solid advocate for world language instruction and education throughout Alaska. I see her at Japanese events all the time, and her kids just absolutely love her. And I was just so pleased to see a Japanese teacher from Palmer, Alaska, as an ACTFL finalist. So Carla, I'm so proud of you. And on behalf of PNCFL, and of course, your home in AFLA, we are honored to have you as our keynote speaker tonight. So with that, Carla, take it away.
Arigatou gozaimashita. The first thing I want everybody to do is stretch. Let's take 60 seconds and stretch. So please stand up. Actually stand up. Stand up. And 30 seconds. Just do something. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Because I know being on Zoom, we can sit for a long time and we forget to move our bodies, or at least I know I do. Okay, I am going to hopefully share my screen. So please tell me if you see what I see. And yes, I want to share sound. Okay.
You are set and ready.
All right. Okay. And I know we're over time, so I will try to be, let me see, hold on, aware of that. Whoops. I'm just trying to change my app. Okay, so yes, we are definitely stronger together. And I think this is super cool that we have this virtual conference. I would say that is definitely one of the best pluses. And let's wait just a second on the poll. But well, let's just jump into that. So actually, we're going to wait on the poll. I see the poll. Never mind. Okay. So the first thing I would love everyone to do is, you probably already have your chat open, but please open it if you don't. And I would also love for you to go, if you click on participants at the bottom, hover over your name, and I'd like you to rename yourself. If you could rename yourself your first name, your last name, and then your state and your language. So again, if you could just rename yourself, you'll click on participants, find your name, hover over it, click rename, and first name, last name, your state, and your language. That would be great. And this was something, the chat, when I first, a year ago, when all of a sudden we had a week, you're going to be teaching by Zoom. We dropped in and we learned as we went, and the chat, it wasn't really till this summer I saw the power of the chat. I learned so much from people chatting. So feel free, I want to give you guys freedom. Make comments, ask questions, answer other people's questions if they have it. We're stronger together. So also at the very end, I'm going to ask you for 2 takeaways. When I go to a conference, or I'm sitting in a class, or I'm sitting in a staff meeting, I I usually try and walk away with what are 2 takeaways. I'm not going to remember everything, but what are 2 things that kind of stood out to me. So at the very end, I'm going to ask you to do that. So kind of think about that. And so I can't move this poll, but that's okay. A little bit about myself. This is my family, my husband. I have to say he's also a teacher, and I am definitely much stronger because of him. In fact, he and my son are sitting out in the cabin with our dog right now so that it's not noisy in here. So I appreciate everything he does. To the right, you need to see Akiho Sensei. She, oh my gosh, when we all of a sudden had to go remote, if she were not part of my team, I would not have survived. She helped us thrive, or at least we had some thriving moments, but she was my co-teacher. Japanese teachers, if you don't know about J-Leap, write it down right now. She was my co-teacher for a year and has been helping me this year as well. When I am not in the classroom, I love playing ice hockey. This is my first year in 20 some years that I have not played hockey due to COVID, and I miss my girls. And then one thing I love is nature. I love getting out in the outdoors, and I think that's for us in the Northwest, that is one thing that we all have in common, is being able to get out. And I think it's helped us in this last year. I know it's helped me. And another thing I like to do, I'm a cabbage fairy. Palmer is famous for its giant vegetables and beauty. And I am a cabbage fairy when the fair is actually going on. So come up when COVID is gone and join in our fair. And, oh no, okay. Matanuska Valley, Brandon talked about the Matanuska Valley. We're 1 hour north of Anchorage, and this is another of my good things. I get to see this beautiful scenery every single day. This is Palmer High School. Our superintendent has said that we're one of, he said that 80% of the West Coast has been teaching virtually since March. We're the 20% that aren't. We went back to school in August. This was our first day of school last August, and I'll just say I was excited but apprehensive. I didn't have my co-teacher, and we were starting a year with a lot of new things. I'm going to share a little bit of my story. I want you to look at, this is George Cartier. He was the mayor of Palmer, and I think opportunity is a word that comes up to me. I'm really grateful for all the opportunities I've had, and thanks to an announcement in 1987 at Palmer High, they said that they were going to pick one junior to go to our sister city, which is in Saroma, which is right there. And that was my start of world language. Or actually I had taken French, but that was my start of kind of getting out of Palmer. And I think the gift of exchange is so powerful, and it's something that I really try to foster wherever I am. This was the last trip when we got to travel that I took students over. Every summer there is an exchange for between the two cities. 2020 was supposed to be the huge year. We had like 40 people going to Saroma. It was our 40th anniversary. We had the principals of the elementary, middle school, high school, our superintendent, from our superintendent. We had students, 25 citizens, and of course, COVID shut that down. But we've had, if you look at this picture, you can see that our sister city relationships in Alaska with Japan are very, very strong, and that's exciting. So this is where I am so excited to do my first poll. Thank you, Catherine, for helping me. So I'm gonna launch it, because this is where I wanna know, doko desu ka and, no, dare desu ka and doko desu ka? Who are you and where are you? So I'm gonna give you a moment, except, whoops. I'm trying to launch my poll, but.
Carla, is it okay if I launch it?
Can you launch it?
Yep.
Yes, Catherine Sensei. See, we are stronger together. So first one, well, I'll let you guys read through it. I'm gonna give you a moment. but I want to find out who are you, where are you, and kind of what are our situations. Brandon, and when you've done all the questions, because I can see your face, will you give me a thumbs up? I think I have 4 questions or 5, or Catherine, you can tell me too.
And some people were asking how they submit it. It's automatic when you're hitting the choices. So I think you have 4 questions.
Okay, so everybody has 4 questions. And then at the end, this is my first poll because on Zoom in our district, I don't think we have the Zoom, or I should say polling doesn't show up on as teachers as our ability to do it. Okay, so let's share our results. Can everybody see that? Yes? Yes, okay, so let's see. What is your situation? So it looks like 20% is face-to-face. So our superintendent was correct. Online virtual 66, hybrid, some face-to-face, some online 20, hybrid 3%. All right, let's go to our second one. I don't know, can you scroll, where are you located? Can you scroll that, Catherine?
I apologize to everybody in Wyoming that I left you off. Carla and I made this a little late last night. I love Wyoming. I've been there once. I go back every single time.
Are you able to scroll up? I just see where you located. I see Alaska, 14%, Washington, 31%.
Maybe the Wyoming folks can click the second Alaska because you have that listed twice.
Oh, okay. Yes. Catherine, are you able to scroll up on the poll? Or are you scrolling up? Or can you just, I guess, I don't see it on, but
I apologize. I think we can maybe move on from the poll. It's my first time too.
Okay, well, that is an example of, hey, we tried something new, and that's what you got to do is
and I
try
see that
it.
the participants can see it themselves.
Oh, they can?
Yes, they get to scroll.
Okay, so they can see, awesome. Great. So, can we stop sharing the poll so then I can see the rest, if possible, because it still shows up on my screen. Okay, so couple things. Are we able to now get rid of the?
Okay, so let me hit click, don't click anymore.
Okay.
Okay. You should be good. And you can just click the little box if it comes up again.
Well, and that's the problem. I'm not able to click on the box to
You can move it over.
You can just close it. I think this little red
Yeah,
button.
I'm just it's not even, I guess that's okay. I will try to do this without it, but it's just in there. For some reason, I'm not able to. Sorry, guys. We'll go on. I don't want to share my story, and I just want to say my story is my story. Everyone has their own story. Everyone's in a different situation. I really want, when I was thinking about this talk, I want us to think about what do we value as educators, but as people, I guess before just educators, as people. I want to share a few ideas that have worked in my classroom that I think build proficiency and help us connect, and as well as with community. And then I'll share, we've been face-to-face with pivoting to online when we have to, and we'll share some of our takeaways. So kind of essential question that I came up with is, what kind of people do we want to be? And this is the kanji for hito, and it is people or person or people. And one thing I thought that was really interesting when I looked at that is you have 2 strokes, and if you take one away, you're going to fall down. You're much stronger when you are, I think, with someone else. And when I think of all the opportunities or successes I've had, it's really been not as an individual, but someone who's been supporting me. And so, we're definitely stronger together. So I want to talk about Mita DeArmond. She was my 6th grade teacher. So she is a person who's, I think, helped me become stronger. And again, I want to look at some traits that she had. She, in 6th grade, we did something called the World's Fair, and my country was Holland. And to me, she was, what kind of person was she? She was inspiring. Because of her, I loved learning. I loved school. She was also so encouraging at that time and throughout my career. I remember, and this would have been, 15 years later when I started my first year as a first-time teacher here in Matsu, she had saved a little plaque that I gave her in 6th grade. And she actually sent it to me in the mail at the beginning of my first year to just wish me good luck. And, who does that? That was so amazing. I want to talk about our world language community. When I started my first year at Wasilla High School, the world language teachers came up to me, and I had one Japanese class and the rest were English, and they were so welcoming. And they said, we have AFLA's coming up, and this is what we do. We're going to go to, it's a once in a year conference. And thank goodness they invited me, and they were my support. And we've gone. I've gone every year, and I guess this was a natural PLC. This is just what we did. Dwight Probasco, he was known as Mr. P. He was the Wasilla High School principal. And when I think of him, what kind of person was him? He was connected. He was at our front door every day at the school. He knew our name. He knew our students' name. And he was supportive. One example, I remember I was really stressed one week, and I didn't have a printer, and I was out in a portable. I'd have to walk across the school to get my Japanese materials. And it was an hour later, and Mr. Probasco's, his personal printer was in my classroom connected to my computer. And he just always, he was both supportive and caring and compassionate with students and his teachers. And I think, because of that, we were a strong staff. So I'm going to share some routines and some strategies. And like in Japanese, I also kind of think ceremony, like the rituals that have helped me. So the first one is door conversations. And this was actually this week. And it's things we do, but I meet our students at the door, and for them to come in, I think it's the change from the outside world to the inside world, or a place that they can actually click and realize that, okay, we're now going to switch into Japanese. So here everyone, we were doing the poem Toriga together. It's a Japanese poem. This is kind of declamation time. And they had to do that to come in. So that, or it might just be, "O genki desu ka?" How are you doing? But they have to say something, and it's a way for me to check. And then for them to just switch into Japanese. In Japan, you have a nichoku, who is the head student. And I love this about Japanese culture, because it's an official way to start the class. And you're going to see, this was actually around about a year ago. Obviously, no one's wearing masks, so this was a year ago. And let me see if. Nichoku onegaishimasu.
起立。気をつけ。これから授業を始めます。礼。おはようございます。着席。
はい。カイさん、今日の単語は 何ですか？
今日の単語は哲学です。
あ、見せてください。
この単語は哲学です。
はい。手伝う人。はい。皆さん頑張りましょう。 All right, so that you're going to see both. That was our Nichoku who started class, and then they kind of looked at the word of the day, and that was from our social contract, which really is framed as, who are the people, and I like to frame this not as like, what's our class rules, but who are the people that we want to be? And so this is our class contract. This is not something that I just wrote up and said, this is what it is. We spent 90 minutes, at least 90 minutes discussing, coming up with this. We also put it in Japanese. It's not a direct translation, it's more describing it. But these are the people that we want to be in our class to get the most out of our class and just as people in general. And this is something Anchorage School District will know, the Matsu will know. This is something that came from Capturing Kids' Hearts. And the whole goal was if you're going to capture kids' minds, you first need to have a connection. So these are the 4 questions that we asked. The first one is, kids were in groups and they discussed it together and then a spokesperson shared out. How do you want to be treated by the teacher? And then, because I want to know. How do you want to be treated by each other when you're in this class? And this is specific to Japanese. How do you want people to treat you? How do you think, now put them in my perspective, how do you think I want to be treated? And this is, putting in world language too, we need to be thinking of others, and this puts them in that role. And then when there is a conflict in 2021, we've had nothing but conflict in our nation. So how do we want to treat each other when there is conflict? And I think this helps with those hard conversations or when we're not feeling comfortable. So social contract. Another thing we do is ikoto. Ikoto are good things. It's 2 to 3 minutes. We start it at the beginning of class. Why do we do it? It sets a positive environment. We start off with something positive. We're able to make connections in our class, and I'll just jump to whether we're on Zoom or whether we're virtual or whether we're in face-to-face. It helps us make those connections. And then the brain research, it gets our brain ready to learn. If we're coming in and maybe it's, I'm late to the Zoom, or I'm late to class, or I'm here, or someone I know just had COVID, it kind of calms us down. We think of something positive and gets us ready to learn. And in the world language classroom, we do it in the target language. So Japanese 1, it might just start off with watashi no ii koto wa, my good thing is, and then they might say, a 15-second something in English. I'm going to pull one sentence from that, and we'll put that in Japanese, but it personalizes it. When you go up, they're doing it all in Japanese. And I'd say on the teacher side, always add, you're going to go deeper, ask a question or a comment or give an affirmation. And again, it's 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. よし、いいことをしましょう。いいこと2人。レクシーさんのいいことは何ですか？
私のいいことは昨日初めていちごカルピスを飲みました。とても美味
I
しか
drank
った。
this drink called
どこで買いましたか？フレドマイヤーズ。
いくらでした？
5ドルです。
高い。
でも美味しかった。
よかった。
それはい
いこと。What is おぎよ。グレイさんのいいことは何ですか？
私のいいことは今週の週末にビューティー&ビーストの始め発表があります。みんな見に行きます。
聞いてください。はい。いくらですか？
$25。
行きたい。
素晴らしい発表。
頑張って頑張って頑張ってそれはいいこと。そしてスイク先生のいいことは何ですか。
This was a year ago.
私のいいことは昨日スーパーボウルでカンザスシティチーフスが50年ぶり勝ちました。いいことじゃない。
いいことじゃない。
そしてそれはいいこと。
All right. So I guess that was, and my good thing was that the Kansas City Chiefs had won the Super Bowl. That obviously was not the case this year. But what I would love everyone to do right now is go into your chat, and if watashi no ii koto would be my good thing in Japanese, you can start it whether it's, you know, it's German or French or you know, whatever your language is. Go ahead. I would love for you to jump into chat and share one good thing. And it can be anything. It can be, you know, I had coffee this morning. It can be, but one good thing that's happening in your life. And I guess, Catherine, one thing I'm noticing as we do this real time, I can't see the chat, can I?
Yeah, you can just click on the little button and it should pop up, or you can use Alt-H. Alt-H will pull up the chat box.
Oh, I'm trying to move my...
Oh, but you're on a Mac, so I don't know Mac language.
Okay, so that's okay, you guys. We're gonna roll with it. I can't see your answers, but I hope you're writing something. Yes.
Carla, they are absolutely writing lots
Okay.
and lots of things.
All right. Well,
And in the target language.
I love it. So next thing, I would love after someone, you know, if we're doing this in Zoom, where we're doing this in the classroom, I always say, ask a question, make a comment, or give an affirmation. So I would love people to go into the chat. And for example, I talked to Gwen Johnston in Washington today, and she told me that her good thing was that she is getting her vaccination on Sunday. And so that's my comment to her. I'm glad she's getting her first vaccination. I'm getting my second vaccination on Monday. So I would like you to actually go and read some people's comments and respond to one person. You can do @ and their name and send them, either you can ask them a question or comment to something that they commented on. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to find someone, and if we had more time, I'd give you more time, but we're
And Carla, you do have the toolbar down there to be able to see the chat.
For some reason, I just see like, I don't know why my, that's okay. You'll be my eyes. All right, I'm gonna, but yeah, you can keep responding to somebody. Classroom setup, I just wanted to say another thing is I change now, of course, COVID times, we have seating charts. I meet half my kids 1 week, and the next we have 3 classes 1 week, 3 classes the next week. We're in seating charts. So before, though, I would mix things up all the time. I just want to say expect change. You know, if we have a presenter, we're going to be in a circle. I specifically went out and bought tables myself so that we didn't have desks, so that we could move. And these tables, they fold up. So here's when we had Akio Sensei was doing a presentation. Kids are working together. They're just with their whiteboards and working with a pair. We had Japanese PE class. So it was PE class in Japanese. Usually we're in the gym. This day we were doing Yosakoi dance. So we were using my room to look at the video. COVID times, we were doing poem recitations this week. So tables were gone. They have their whiteboards. Here, students were taking a quiz in the hallway on their whiteboards. or using their whiteboards as their desks. I would just say spacing, social distance, you know, spacing kids out more. When it was the fall, kids would take their chairs and we would go outside, but not when it started snowing. Another routine, lots of comprehensible input. A couple years ago, for the first 2 weeks when our district switched to some new, a new grade machines, Synergy. I didn't have a computer for the first 2 weeks, and we started doing everything on posters. And then I realized posters are so helpful because you turn a screen off and the image is gone. You leave a poster on the wall and it's there for them to use as a resource. So we use lots of comprehensible input. And if it's something that you're doing as part of your routine, try to do it in Japanese. We put our pledge in period 1 has to do they start with the pledge. So we say it in Japanese. I found when we switched to the last Q4 for us, and we were on, kids were doing things through Google Classroom or kids were doing things through Zoom. A lot of it was written direction. And so the visuals are just so important. 1-minute speeches, 2-minute dialogues is another routine we do when that Q4, and even now, it was through some people this summer, through some conferences, I learned about Flipgrid. So if we can't do it face to face, we do it by Flipgrid. Love the dry erase board. And we used these before. This year, when I realized we're going to be coming back and may have to pivot to online anytime, the first thing I ordered was dry erase boards for everyone. Every student got a dry erase board. They took it home. And if we were going to pivot to online because our school got shut down for a COVID case, then they would still have that. Yes, you can write in the computer, but I want to see the kids. I want to see their face. I want to, and so we would use those dry erase boards, and that helped with kids who didn't want to turn on their camera. I'm going to keep going because we are out of time, but staying in the target language. Definitely, if you have a co-teacher, it's just natural to stay in the language. I am going to keep going because I know we'll be out of time. Favorite apps. I would say I used Google Classroom a little bit before COVID. And we had to learn it. That's the one thing I got good at was figuring out Google Classroom. And I think because of time, I'm not going to show this video, but what I do want to show is taking advantage of authentic resources. And we did Eihomaki. This was last year. You're going to notice no one's in mass. I look at this now and it's like, oh, but what I do want to talk about is my 2 takeaways from Rebecca Sensei, our 2020 ACTFL Teacher of the Year. And I remember 2 things that resonated with me this last summer as I got ready. She said, Marikondo your curriculum. We can't do it all. And for me, I want to do it all. But I was like, okay, what is it? She said, what is it that sparks joy? Does it spark joy? And if it doesn't, because we can't do it all. And as we're getting ready for IB tests, I was like, oh, I want these kids to, I love all the hands-on. So I just want to show a COVID mitigated Eihomaki. So we did the same thing. This took a lot of thought because as you saw in that other picture, everyone's, it's like a potluck, everyone's grabbing things. But actually, I think this was even better language-wise. So students, they learned Eihomaki is the big fat lucky sushi that you eat during this time of the year. And they had to do a conversation with their classmates. They did an ordering. So I wanted them to order the food that is exactly the 7, you need 7 ingredients. There's 15 ingredients. They had to choose the 7 ingredients through this conversation. They would mark it. And then and then I went to Fred Meyer and I purchased just those ingredients for those. And then we had to, one person put all of those together so that, they're not touching anyone else's food, just theirs. And I guess my point here is had to think out of the box. I really wanted them to have this experience. we had to do it where they were socially distanced, that no one's touching their food except them. We did it in masks. They were so happy. We can't see that she's smiling, but she's smiling. Then we did the little tradition where they do eat them socially distanced, and you could see it sparked joy, and it was effort on my part, but it was worth doing. So building community. Okay, I'm gonna have to go fast. We do for Japanese language teachers, you know, the Nengajo, or the New Year's competition. And this was last year, Year of the Dog. And when we're face to face, it's put on by the AKATJ. And I think just finding your passion. So those who like to, you know, hands-on, and kids were able to vote on the top cards, and then we sent those to nationals. And then we actually copied those cards and sent them to Japan. We were able to do that this year, even virtual. We submitted all of our cards virtually, and there was a new category. It's called the encouragement category. And this one says, Ashita mo aru kara gambarimasu. There's always tomorrow, so gambarimasu. Work hard with masku is, you know, the mask. And this was Lillian Nichols, and that she actually placed nationally. So I think when they see that their work is actually, it's a product that has a real purpose. I'm gonna skip through this. I just talked about, you know, we did a PE day. So if you can find those things that kids are passionate about, kids, you know, we have some kids who are athletes, and we did a Japanese PE day, Japanese style. We wanted them to use the language, use it in context, and I guess I'm gonna skip the video. And then
Carla?
Yes.
You know, if there are people who want to stay on and be with you, we don't have to rush through anything. If you are going to attend a different session, you know, you can go to that. But Carla, you have until 7 o'clock technically to keep talking. It's depending on if people wanted to go to a different session. So please, we'd love to see everything you've got, but I do have to leave. So Brandon,
okay,
please take over, and I will see you all later. Thank you, Carla. Good luck.
Okay, thanks.